Chapter 11. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yes, we are going to the Great Route, and we need a navigator. Moonlight nodded, and chatted with Nami as if no one was there. Hey, boy, although you are very strong, is this too arrogant? Our Bucky pirates are not simple characters. Asshole, are you ignoring us? Damn it, kid, you're too arrogant. Seeing this scene, the pirates all around became angry. It just doesn't take them seriously. If you want my nautical chart, it depends on whether you have the ability. Bucky also sneered, took out a chart in his hand, and looked at the Moonlight. Captain, why do you need to deal with this kind of characters? Let us deal with them. This swordsman does have some strength, and even the legendary pirate hunter Sauron, but he is still far away from dealing with us. We have 500 people. 500 of us hacked you together, and we killed you with one knife. All the pirates shouted one after another, raising their swords in their hands, aggressively, and surrounded the three of Moonlight, and Luffy, who was concentrating on food, seemed to be forgotten. Do you want to win with more people? Seeing this, Sauron sneered, and the three knives around his waist were unsheathed, showing the three-knife fighting posture. Don't shoot, Sauron. Moonlight waved his hand and stopped Sauron. It just so happened that he had an ability that he had always wanted to try, but unfortunately he couldn't control it well with his current attainments. Now is just the best time. You'd better stay away, or you will be affected. Moonlight looked at Nami and smiled. It is good. Nami nodded, although she was astonished by Moonlight's invitation, she was only astonished. Hearing this, she immediately ran away and disappeared after a while. Moonlight smiled faintly and walked towards the Bucky pirates. What is he going to do? Is he really planning to deal with 500 people alone? Sauron watched Moonlight's movements, although he was puzzled, he didn't make a move at the moment. Boy, what do you mean, you deal with 500 of us alone? Looking for death, no matter how powerful you are, no matter how good your sword skills are, if 500 of us fight together, you will die without a place to die. It's really too arrogant. Even if you want to die, I have never seen you like this. Brothers, come on, let this kid appreciate our strength. Kill him. Seeing the Moonlight walking over like no one else, the pirates all around roared and rushed towards the Moonlight. Okay. Bucky's eyelids twitched, and a bad feeling suddenly rose in his heart. For some reason, in Yuegwang, he felt a power that made him dread. Anyway, he has been on the ship of One Piece and seen the world. The Overlord is domineering. At this time, facing the 500 pirates rushing over, Moonlight smiled faintly. Domineering look, domineering display. Boom! An invisible aura erupted, centered on the Moonlight, and everyone within a kilometer radius was affected. I saw the pirates rushing over. Before they approached, suddenly one by one was hit by the immobilization method, their bodies were frozen in place, unable to move, and then one after another fell to the ground, comatose, paralyzed, demented, and convulsed. In a blink of an eye, all 500 pirates fell to the ground and lost their fighting power. What is this? Sauron also felt this momentum, but he was determined and stood firm, but seeing the people who fell suddenly, can't help being horrified. Okay. Luffy was also taken aback, stopped eating, and looked around this scene in surprise. The Overlord is domineering. Bucky paused every word, fixed his eyes on the Moonlight, and said, he has seen a lot, so he naturally knows what it is. It's just that I didn't expect to see someone displaying such power in a place like Donghai. This is the power that only the chosen ones will have. What is domineering look? Luffy wondered. Not only him, but Sauron also had the same doubts. This kind of power to instantly kill 500 people is too terrifying. However, Bucky ignored them at all, but looked at the Moonlight and murmured. I really didn't expect that in the East China Sea, the weakest of the Sifang seas, there are people who have this kind of power and can display it. It's incredible. Hand over the chart and get the hell out of this village, Bucky. The Moonlight said faintly. The grass pheasant sword was raised, and the armed color was aggressive. The blade of the grass pheasant sword immediately turned black. Exudes an inexplicable power. Is the armed color domineering? If this is the case, it will be tricky. Seeing this, Bucky's face instantly became ugly. The power of a devil fruit ability user lies in the powerful demonic power, which is far beyond people's imagination, especially for a person with a torn fruit ability like him. Ordinary power has no effect on him at all, but if it is attached to domineering, even a natural type ability user will be injured. Even so, who is Bucky? Once a member of Roger's crew, a user with the ability to split the fruit, and the captain of the pirate group, the character who swears to get the one piece of the big secret treasure. If you are scared when you meet a strong person, then what kind of pirates are you? Seeing this, Bucky shouted angrily. Do you want my sea chart? Dreaming, although you are very powerful, don't underestimate you, Uncle Bucky. Kabaji, Machi. 2. As soon as Bucky finished speaking, two figures descended from the sky, a man with white hair riding a lion and a man with a big knife in his hand on a bicycle. The two are the cadres of the Bucky pirates. Unlike other crew members, they are elite. A master who stops 100 with one. It seems that we have encountered difficulties, but with us, everything is not a problem. Did you declare war on us, Bucky pirates? If so, then make up your mind. The two looked around, then looked at the Moonlight, and sneered. Boy, this is the true strength of my Bucky pirates, let you experience it now, Bucky shouted, ordering the two of them. Go together. Yes. Without hesitation, the two men drove a lion, and the other rode a bicycle, brandishing a big knife, and came to kill the Moonlight. Bucky was not idle either, his body split into countless pieces, each holding a dagger, and came to kill the Moonlight. The three of them shot together and besieged Moonlight. The three of them shot together, bullying the few with the more. Are they bullying none of us? At this time, Sauron drew his sword and stopped the oncoming swordsman. Your opponent is me. Luffy also appeared in front of Bucky, gearing up. He's fed, energized, and ready to go big. Hey, I'm about to deal with them together, you guys are head-grabbing. Seeing this, Moonlight couldn't help being dissatisfied. He doesn't pay attention to the roles of Machi and Kabaji. Chapter 12 vs. Bucky Pirates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Difficulty is nothing more than Bucky's ability to torn apart. With his current arrogance, he can't kill him all at once. Let's solve it together, boy, you really underestimate people. We are the cadres of the Bucky Pirates, and we are different from those ants. Seeing that the Moonlight didn't even look at him, Machi suddenly said angrily, with a whip, he slapped Li Chi severely. Li Chi suffered pain, grinned his teeth, and swooped towards the Moonlight. Never mind. Seeing this, Yueguang couldn't help but cut out with a single knife, and put the knife back into its sheath. Crack. Kick. Kick. Immediately, he saw a crescent-like sword aura, which was divided into 3 parts and slashed out. After Yueguang closed the knife, Li Ji and Machi who rushed over had already been chopped off with a single knife. Blood flew everywhere, and he passed out directly. Killing with a single knife, in front of the Moonlight, it is completely vulnerable. Machi, leaky. Hateful. Seeing this scene, Kabaji and Baki couldn't help shouting angrily, but facing Sauron and Luffy, they couldn't be careless and couldn't separate themselves. Did you kill it with one knife? As expected of you, leave this person to me. I just want to hone my knife skills. Seeing this, Sauron was secretly startled by Moonlight's strength, and then looked at Kabaji, who had slashed over, with a solemn expression. This is different from the miscellaneous fish he killed before. This guy is capable, let me come. Luffy also confronts Bucky, although Bucky's ability to split into pieces is a headache, but Luffy has his own way. Only those with abilities can deal with those with abilities. Others have nothing to do with him, but he has a way. Okay, leave it to you, and I will do the rest. Hearing this, Moonlight shrugged, jumped off the boat, and looked at the large number of villagers who had rushed over. They first met the village head who was inquiring for information, and then they felt the movement and rushed over. The famous Bucky pirates were actually solved like this. At this time, Nami, who took away all the treasures of the Bucky pirates, dragged a big bag, and walked out with a face of joy, but she couldn't help being surprised when she saw the astonishing scene. The Bucky pirates are not small guys, they are very famous in the East China Sea. Unexpectedly, it was killed like this. They are. Then her gaze was attracted by the rushing villagers, and she couldn't help but wonder. Stop! When a group of people rushed to the boat, the village head suddenly stopped and stopped everyone. He also looked at the scene on the boat with a dull face, and couldn't help being surprised. What happened? Do you fight in the nest? No, it's not fighting in the nest, the three of them should not be members of the Bucky pirates. My God, look, that animal trainer Machi was defeated, his animal trainer died, the cadre Kabaji was also suppressed, and the captain, who was the boy who was fighting with him. Is he also an ability user? He can actually stretch his arms, so amazing. What happened? Not only the village chief, but all the villagers were surprised. They came with the determination to die, but they didn't expect to see such a scene. Everyone stay where they are, don't take a step beyond and disturb them. Facing all the villagers rushing over, Moonlight slashed out with a sword. Immediately, a crack several feet deep was cut out, lying between Yueguang and everyone. Moonlight said lightly, concise and to the point. He didn't bother to explain to them, and left after the settlement was over. He still has to go to the Great Route, how can he waste time in such a place? This is a lie. Split the earth with one sword. So strong. Seeing the huge crack on the ground in front of them, all the villagers were stunned. When have they seen this kind of power before? Compared with the man in front of him, the Bucky pirates are weak. Who are you? What is your purpose? What are they doing? Seeing this, the village chief took a deep breath. Although he was afraid, he still looked at the Moonlight and asked solemnly. Our purpose is the Bucky pirates, and it has nothing to do with you, so if you don't want to cause trouble, just stay here obediently. Moonlight said lightly. Village chief, it seems that what he said is correct. You see, the members of the Bucky pirates have been dealt with. That's right, the other two seem to be his companions, fighting with the pirates. He is so powerful, there is no need to lie to us, at least for now, we don't need to conflict with him. Hearing this, the village chief was still hesitating, guessing whether the words of Moonlight were true or not, while the villagers all around spoke one after another. Is that so? We won't move here, but if you want to destroy this town, we will risk our lives and won't let you do what you want. The village chief nodded, looked at the Moonlight, and gritted his teeth. Moonlight nodded and looked towards the field. At this time, the battle had come to an end. Zoro was caught off guard by Kabaji's dazzling juggling at the beginning, and suffered many injuries, but in the end, the demon slash broke out and Kabaji was cut across the board. Luffy's side is also over. Although he keeps getting injured, Luffy is completely at a disadvantage in one-on-one. Even with a rubber body, he can't stand Bucky's sword. In the end, Nami found out that Bucky's feet couldn't leave the ground, and immediately helped Luffy, and Bucky was also pushed away by Luffy's palm. Finally a big win. And the Bucky pirates are all wiped out. Victory! Luffy breathed a sigh of relief, looking at the hat that was scratched by the knife, feeling a little sad. This hat means a lot to him, and he made an appointment with someone, but he was injured like this unexpectedly. Thank you for saving me, I can fix your hat for you. Seeing this, Nami said. Really? Thank you so much, but Moonlight has invited you just now, let me invite you again, join us, and be our navigator. Luffy looked at Nami and extended the invitation again. It is impossible to join you. My goal is not the Great Route. I prefer treasures, but we can cooperate. You must go to many places. I will guide you and collect treasures at the same time. Nami laughed. After a narrow escape, they can be regarded as friends in need. Cooperate? Okay. Hearing this, Luffy nodded, then pointed to Sauron who was asleep on the ground, and said. Moonlight, let's go, marching towards the Great Route. Captain, to go to the Great Voyage, we must at least have a ship of our own, and this guy is really big enough to sleep like this. Hearing this, Moonlight couldn't help but look at Sauron on the ground helplessly. You can still sleep in this kind of place, and it is a miracle that you can survive to this day. Well, don't worry, there will definitely be a boat. Luffy nodded, his face full of confidence. Chapter 13. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Moonlight was speechless, not only him, Nami was also speechless. Then he pointed to the ship of Bucky pirates and said, "Let's use this ship before we have our own." "Oh, what a great idea." Hearing this, Luffy clapped his hands and said in agreement. "I took a look just now. There are not many supplies on the ship. We must replenish them as soon as possible. Otherwise, with your appetite, we won't be able to last a day." Moonlight sighed, came to the boat, looked inside, and said, "This island is obviously impossible, so let's set sail." Nami nodded, glanced at the hostile villagers on the other side of the crack in the ground, and the dilapidated and devastated villages and towns that were bombarded by Bucky, and sighed. "Ah." Luffy nodded, no objection. Moonlight picked up Sauron, drew the anchor, and set sail directly. "Hey, wait for me." Seeing this, Luffy couldn't help stretching his arms, grabbed the side of the boat, and flew up. Nami chuckled, showing a bright smile, and the group left Orange Island just like that. Leaving? These people? It seems that they are not bad people. They robbed the ship of Bucky pirates. Are they also pirates? In this sea, there are only pirates instead of navy. Seeing the four people walking away, all the villagers on Orange Island were stunned, whispering and discussing. Whether they are pirates or not, they are all heroes to this village and to us. If it weren't for them, we would still be attacked by those pirates, and it would be very difficult for us to take back the village. No matter what, we have to thank them, the village chief murmured. That's right, that's true, no matter what, they are all our benefactors. Did they just leave? We haven't thanked them yet. Hurry up and stop them. No matter what, we have to express our thanks. Hearing the words of the village chief, everyone reacted one after another. Seeing the four people walking further and further away, they shouted one after another. "Hey! Thank you so much. Benefactors, let us thank you. Benefactor. I am so grateful for your great kindness." Suddenly bursts of voices came from the island. Huh? What are they talking about? Luffy sat on the bow of the boat, looking at Orange Island with a puzzled expression. Who knows, maybe they are thanking us. Nami shrugged, looked at the ocean current and the clouds in the sky, and let out a long sigh of relief. Okay, the current and clouds all indicate that the course is very safe, so I can breathe a sigh of relief. Oh, I said Moonlight, what are you doing? Luffy nodded and looked at Moonlight. After Nami said it was okay, Moonlight suddenly came in front of Luffy, and Luffy said doubtfully. Attack me, help me practice. Moonlight said lightly, he wants to cultivate his knowledge and domineering aura. They have already set sail, and the enemies they will encounter next will become stronger and stronger. His sword skills are enough to cross the East China Sea, but if he meets someone with demonic abilities, it is easy to defeat, but it is somewhat difficult to cause damage, so he has to strengthen his practice. Knowing and domineering is the ability to improve in constant avoidance. There is a system, although he can cultivate by himself, but without this kind of system, it is more suitable for fighting with others. Help you practice. Hearing this, Luffy's eyes lit up. Yes, you just attack, the denser the better, I just dodge. Moonlight nodded, then closed her eyes. Don't you open your eyes and fight him? Seeing this, Nami was puzzled. No, if you keep your eyes open, what is it called training? Moonlight smiled, and hooked his fingers towards Luffy. Come on, the denser the attack, the better. Okay, it's interesting, since that's the case, Moonlight, you can accept it. Hearing this, Luffy laughed, rubbed his palms, and attacked Moonlight. Rubber, pistol. Boom, a fist full of power shot out, extremely fast. Shoot. However, with a flash of Moonlight's body, he dodged easily. Although his eyes are closed, He can feel the atmosphere around him under the domineering aura of LV1, just as he dodged, the system sounded. Ding! You used the color of knowledge and domineering, and gained 1 by 100 experience points. Ding! Knowledge color domineering 100/10,000. Sure enough, this is useful, and it can adapt to the battle the fastest. Moonlight's heart moved. That's amazing, since that's the case, Moonlight, I'm not polite. Seeing this, Luffy was taken aback, and then said with ecstasy. Okay, don't hold back, just come. Moonlight nodded and assumed a defensive posture. Rubber, machine gun. Luffy shouted immediately. He launched his fists, swung them violently, and unleashed a storm of attacks. Suddenly, dozens of fists appeared at the same time, attacking the Moonlight. Like a violent storm, it swayed away. Good come. Sensing the attack, Moonlight nodded, and started to evade. Ding! You have used knowledge-colored domineering, and gained 1 by 100 experience points. Ding! You have used knowledge-colored domineering, and gained 1 by 100 experience points. Ding! The level of knowledge-colored domineering has increased. Knowledge-colored domineering LV21/100000. Use it once, you can get 100 experience points. Luffy's attack is like a storm. After 100 punches, Moonlight's knowledgeable domineering upgrades. Upgraded to LV2. At LV1, Luffy could still punch him a few times. After LV2, the surrounding breath, movement, and punching wind can be felt with ease, and it's more satisfying to dodge. Luffy can't even hit a punch. It's amazing, what kind of monster is this guy? Luffy's attacks are like a storm, extremely dense. He actually closed his eyes and dodged at will. Especially now, Luffy can't even hit a punch, and he is completely at ease. Seeing this scene, Nami was shocked. Huh? What's going on? At this moment, Sauron woke up and sat up from the ground. He didn't wake up naturally, but Luffy's rubber machine gun accidentally hit him, and he was woken up immediately. What's this? Then Sauron saw the scene of Luffy fighting Moonlight. At first, he was taken aback, thinking that the two were fighting, but after seeing the specific situation clearly, he found that it was not what he imagined, but Luffy is attacking, Moonlight is dodging, and he is still dodging with his eyes closed. But what surprised him even more was that even so, Luffy couldn't hit him with a single punch. The Moonlight hides easily and freely, effortlessly. Instead, Luffy has already started to breathe. Physically exhausted. At the end, stop. I have no energy, I'm so hungry. Luffy stuck out his tongue, looking hungry. Chapter 14 Usopp Pirates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Don't stop. Hearing this, Moonlight couldn't help opening his eyes, and said helplessly, under Luffy's fierce attack, his knowledge and arrogance rapidly increased his experience. It was about to upgrade again soon, but Luffy stopped at this time and couldn't help shouting. It's amazing, let me come. Seeing this, Sauron's fighting spirit rose. He is a swordsman, and Moonlight is also a swordsman, and he is stronger than him. His ambition is to become the world's #1 swordsman. Seeing someone who is stronger than him, a strong fighting spirit will be aroused in the bottom of my heart. It is good. Hearing this, Moonlight nodded and closed his eyes again. You hide well, I will not show mercy. If you are hacked to death by me, don't blame me. Sauron sneered. Come on, if you can hit it. Moonlight said lightly. It is good. Hearing this, Sauron shouted loudly, drew his sword and slashed, menacing, extremely violent. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Immediately, Sauron slashed at Moonlight with a sword speed no less than Luffy's attack speed. Under the gust of wind and sword rain, the Moonlight dodges easily, so free and easy. Zoro, hurry up. Moonlight said lightly. Damn it, 2 swords. Sauron burst out drinking both swords. Ding. The level of knowledge-colored domineering has increased. Ding. Knowledge-colored domineering LV31/10000000. Upgraded to LV3. Moonlight suddenly felt a change in front of his eyes. Although his eyes were closed, he could see clearly whether it was breath, attack, or even Sauron's movements. Even his next blow can be seen clearly. The domineering LV3 has already been able to preliminarily predict the opponent's next attack. Is this the arrogance of LV3? Sauron, use the three-sword style. Feeling the changes in the body, Moonlight said lightly. It is good. Sauron nodded. Needless to say, he also felt the pressure. Immediately, three swords came out together, violently slashing. Suddenly, it was like a storm of swords and rain, blowing violently on the boat, violently and extremely fast. Moonlight Man easily dodged in the sword rain storm without being affected in the slightest. In the end, Sauron was out of breath and lay on the ground tired. With his monster-like body like this, it can be seen how terrifying the Moonlight is. How is it possible that I can't hit you with a single sword? The gap between us is so big. Sauron couldn't help being shocked. He knew that Uegwang was stronger than him, but he didn't expect the gap to be so big. It's amazing, Moonlight, how did you manage to dodge Sauron's attack? Luffy also looked at Moonlight with a look of admiration. That's right, how did you do it? Nami was also surprised. Sauron and Luffy have so many knives, but they didn't hit a single one, which is incredible. You must know that he dodges with his eyes completely closed. This is domineering, knowledgeable domineering, able to perceive the aura and strength of the opponent, but unfortunately, I also find this kind of power inexplicable, so I can't teach you. Moonlight smiled lightly. Everyone has something like domineering, but not many people can cultivate it. As for how to teach others to be domineering, he really doesn't know how to do it. What he has is endowed by the system, he has it directly, as if he was born with it. It's different from them. Domineering? What is this? Forget it, I'm hungry. Nami, is there an island nearby? Luffy froze for a moment, asked in doubt, then touched his deflated belly, and asked Nami. I won't learn from you, I want to defeat you, and I will become stronger. Sauron directly refused. He has his pride and self-confidence. Even if Moonlight wants to teach, he won't learn. Island? Let me see. Yes, there is an island called Syrub nearby. I think we can replenish supplies there. Nami opened the chart, stopped her finger on a nearby island, and said, after finishing speaking, a small island gradually appeared in front of everyone at the end of the southeast direction. Ah! It's an island, that's great. Seeing this, Luffy cried out happily. As expected of a navigator, you have a bit of ability. Sauron lay on the ground and gave a thumbs up. He has no strength to stand up now. That is, this ship has me as a navigator, so naturally it is not a problem. Nami said confidently, when it comes to nautical skills, she does her part. Syrub Island, Moonlight murmured, looking at the distant island. At the same time, on West Rob Island, a man with a long nose, goggles, and a backpack hanging from his waist was watching Moonlight and his party from afar. The eye-catching pirate group flag is extremely dazzling. Captain, did you find anything? No matter what we find, our Usopp pirates will definitely be able to solve it. Yes, no matter what happens, we are all brave sea warriors. Beside the man, the three children said. Green pepper head, carrot head, onion head, this is not a pirate game, it's a real pirate. Usopp became more serious than ever before, and said. Haha, Captain, don't lie, who would believe such words? Yes, although we are the crew of the Usopp pirates, we all respect you very much, but to ourselves, don't say such things, the adults in the village are calling you a liar. Captain, forget it. However, when the three of them heard this, they couldn't help laughing, and they didn't believe it at all. It is true that Usopp often deceives people in Murakami. After a long time, no one will believe what he says. This is also human nature. After being lied to once, twice, 3 times, the 4th time, 5 times, who will believe it? Even if they are their own people, they don't believe it now. It's true this time, it's absolutely true, I didn't lie to you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Usopp's face was so serious that it was about to drip water, and cold sweat dripped from his forehead even more. "Okay, Captain, although your acting skills are getting better and better, but we can't compare to." Hearing this, the three of Kingjiata shook their heads in disbelief at all, then took the telescope handed over by Usopp, and subconsciously looked at it. My whole body was shocked, and I stuttered. See, thief. It's a real pirate, a real pirate. It's not good, Captain, what should we do? That the three of them began to tremble all over, although they often play pirate games, they know that it is fake. When the real pirates come and face them, they find that they can't even summon up the courage to face them. What else can I do? Hurry up, you three, go and tell all the villagers to let everyone run away, this time the pirates are really here. Usopp said quickly. How about you? Hearing this, the three of them were about to flee when they suddenly saw Usopp standing still, and couldn't help asking. I want to stay here and stop them. I will never allow the pirates to harm the villagers, never. Usopp trembled, but his body didn't retreat at all. Chapter 15 Me and My 8 Subordinates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In this case, then Captain, you can stay here, let's go and inform the villagers. Captain, goodbye. Good luck. Hearing Usopp's words, the three ran away without hesitation. Just kidding, it's okay to play pirate games, but when you meet a real pirate, do you stay and wait to die if you don't run away? You guys, tell the villagers, run, Usopp said in a trembling voice, and his legs trembled, but he still stayed behind. He is a man, and he wants to stop the pirates from going ashore. I won't let you go ashore, you don't want to get involved in this village, Usopp said with a firm voice, making up his mind. Suddenly, his body stopped trembling, his gaze became firm, and he walked into the jungle. At this moment, Usopp and his party of 4 had already docked. Usopp dropped the anchor, parked the boat, and jumped off, and Luffy, Zoro, and Nami have already landed. The three of them made a little identification of the direction and were about to walk towards the village. All of a sudden, on the top of the small hill ahead, there are many figures, and the jungle is swaying. It's as if there are thousands of troops and horses. Stop coming, this island has already been occupied by the Usopp pirates, you little thieves, get out of here, or don't blame me and my, subordinates for being rude to you. Immediately afterwards, a voice rang out suddenly, followed by figures of people, and the voice became more and more frantic, as if 8,000 people were about to appear. Wow! It's amazing. Seeing this, Luffy widened his eyes in surprise. Idiot, this looks like a deceptive thing. Although the momentum was astonishing, Sauron and Nami saw through it in an instant, and Sauron even shouted towards the hill. Don't be arrogant. Since that's the case, I'll let our, subordinates take action. However, on the hill, the voice sounded again, and the movement became more and more terrifying. Buzz. At this moment, Usopp became impatient and drew his sword to strike. Immediately, a crescent-like sword aura shot out across the sky, slashing towards the hill. Boom! The huge hill was suddenly cut off from the middle and cut into 2 pieces. Immediately afterwards, Usopp, as well as many props, fell from the hill one after another. Ah! Usopp immediately screamed and flew down, landing head first, and landed in front of everyone with a plop. Upside down. Wow, someone flew down. Seeing this, Luffy couldn't help but exclaimed. Is there only one person? Sauron holds the hilt of the sword in his hand, as if he is facing a big enemy, he can draw his sword at any time. However, seeing only one person rolling down the hill, he couldn't help being stunned. Sure enough, there is only one person. Nami smiled and said, she had already seen it, but she was not sure. After confirming it now, I was relieved immediately. Captain Usopp. We are the Usopp pirates, let go of our captain, or we will fight you hard. At this moment, Onion Head, Green Pepper Head, and Carrot Head ran over and came to Usopp. 2 of them went to pull Usopp out, and the other stopped in front of the 3 of them, looking coldly at Moonlight and his party. It hurts. Fortunately, the mountain is soft, otherwise I would have fallen to my death. At this moment, the two had already pulled out Usopp, and Usopp held his long nose and screamed for pain, and at the same time he was very grateful. He almost fell to his death. Green pepper head, onion head, carrot head, why are you here? Did you tell the villagers to run away? After seeing the three of them, Usopp couldn't help but change his face, and quickly protected the three of them behind him, asking. Captain, it's useless, we have lied to them too many times before, and now they don't believe us at all. That's right, the villagers have been deceived so badly by us, and now no one in the village believes what we say. No way, Captain, we can only guard the village, the three said in frustration, they often lie to the villagers in the village. After a long time and many times, no one will believe it. Damn it, is it like this? If so, then let me, Usopp, protect this island. Listen up, I am. Hearing this, although Usopp was a little disappointed, he looked at Moonlight and his party and shouted coldly. You are lying, you don't have 8,000 subordinates at all. However, before he could finish speaking, Nami said directly. Usopp paused, and then argued. Actually, your so-called Usopp pirates are just you and the three of them. Sauron pointed at the three of them and said calmly. Usopp paused again, wanting to say something more. Luffy pointed at his long nose and laughed out loud. I know you, your name is Usopp, right? Huh. You know me. Now Usopp was stunned, he had never met them before, how could he be recognized? Huh, you really are. I met your father Jesus Boo when I was on Shank's boat. He often mentioned you to me, and Ti's ears were almost calloused. Luffy laughed and said a name. Jesus. You. You know my father, how is he? Hearing this name, Usopp trembled all over, couldn't help but look at Luffy, put down his guard completely, and asked, not everyone knows this name, since Luffy can say it, he is not an ordinary person. Pirate flag, it was the call of the pirate flag that made me go to sea. This is what he often said. He also said that he had a newborn son, but he couldn't stand the call of the pirate flag, so he went to sea. Luffy said. He is very good. He often shoots ants between the eyebrows with a gun. He is one of the best sharpshooters on Shank's ship. Great, father is fine, he still remembers me. Now, Usopp was completely relieved, thinking of his father Jesus Boo, he couldn't help yearning, perhaps because of blood relationship, he yearns for the sea very much. Is it Luffy's friend? Seems like it. Maybe. Seeing this scene, Nami and Zoro said one after another. Moonlight smiled faintly, he already knew it, but he just experienced it himself. Goo. At this moment, Luffy's stomach suddenly growled, and Luffy suddenly became listless, looked at Usopp, and asked. I'm so hungry, I want to eat meat. Are you hungry? It's easy to say, come with me, I will treat you to a big meal. Onion head, green pepper head, carrot head, let's go together. Usopp was chatting happily, and when he heard this, he waved his hand and said with great pride. Ah, there's meat to eat. Luffy's eyes lit up immediately, and he rushed directly to the village. Sauron couldn't help but shine in his eyes. There's a drink. Then run quickly. In the end, Nami and Moonlight are left, which is normal. The two looked at each other with wry smiles, followed and walked slowly towards the village. Chapter 16 Klabattelle. You are listening at Mtlnovel.audio. As one of the best foodies and alcoholics, he obviously couldn't stand the temptation. In particular, Luffy's desire for meat can be said to be forced to the extreme, because he was someone his father knew. Usopp took them to the best restaurant in the village at a cost. At the table, Luffy ate meat like crazy, Zoro drank like crazy, Nami and Moonlight ate fried rice bite by bite, and looked at the two helplessly, and Usopp was halfway through eating, checked the time, and left suddenly, leave the onion, radish, and green pepper to serve. Hey, where's Usopp? After a full hour, Luffy finished eating and satiated, and suddenly found that Usopp was gone, so he couldn't help asking. Did you just find out? I said Luffy, what on earth is your stomach made of? It's too edible. I go. Hearing this, Nami and Moonlight couldn't help being speechless, and Nami opened her eyes wide and pointed at Luffy. Even Sauron stepped in. That's amazing. Is this the real pirate? He actually ate at least 50 people's meals in one meal. This amount of food is amazing. There are more than 50 people, I think there are 100 people. Usopp. He has something to go. The three Kingjiato looked at Luffy with admiration on their faces, and their eyes were full of amazement. Have you left? There is still something I want to ask him. Hearing this, Luffy couldn't help being disappointed. What's the matter? It's the same to ask us. Yes, if there is anything that can help you, just ask, we will do our best. How cool it is to help real pirates. Seeing this, the three of them patted their chests and said loudly. Thank you so much. We want to get our own pirate ship. Do you know who is the richest person on this island? Let's ask him to give us a ship. Luffy directly stated his intentions. The richest one. Everyone in the village is about the same. It doesn't matter who is the richest, but everyone can contribute a little. It's a little bad, after all, everyone's life is normal. Right, maybe that person can. The three immediately said that the villagers on the island are self-sufficient and not rich, not to mention that it is unrealistic for everyone to contribute money to the pirates. Suddenly, Onion seemed to think of something, his eyes lit up, and he said. That person. Luffy's eyes lit up too. That's right, she is the richest person in our village. If you ask her, maybe she can help you. Are you talking about Miss Kaya who lives in the villa on the mountain? Kingjiato and Karatou also thought about it and couldn't help saying. Miss Kaya. Now not only Luffy, Zoro, and Nami's eyes lit up. Since you want to go to sea in a group, you must have your own boat, which is the most basic, but it's not easy to get a boat. Nami obviously can't use her own money. Sauron and Luffy are poor ghosts. Moonlight just arrived and they are also penniless. If they want to get a boat, they don't know the year of the monkey. Bucky's ship is not his own, and it is in tatters. It is impossible to get to the Great Route. Luffy knew in his heart, how could he wait so long? It is the most convenient and fastest way to find someone to sponsor the boat. That's right, she is the richest person in our village, and she lives on the mountain. The three of them nodded, and pointed to a large villa looming on the mountain outside the window. Great, since that's the case, let's act. Seeing this, Luffy excitedly said, without further ado, just leave. Go. Sauron and the others also followed him. At this time, in the villa on the mountain, Usopp climbed in through a gap in the backyard, climbed up a tree, and whispered into a room. Kaya. Immediately, the window was opened, and a sickly girl under the age of 20 cheered when she saw Usopp. Usopp, you're here. Well, Kia, I've come to see you, and this time I'll tell you about my heroic deeds at sea. Seeing the girl, Usopp's eyes lit up. This is the owner of this villa, Miss Kia. He nodded heavily at the moment and said, he often tells lies, so people in the whole village don't like him. Although it is not to the point where everyone shouts and beats rats in the street, it is almost the same, but the girl in front of him is the only one who believes in him. Usopp feels the long-lost warmth from her, especially the girl who is young and beautiful. Usopp is just in love. He just wants to see her every day, so he often sneaks in and tells some stories about the sea that he made up, probably because of his nature of lying. The story Usopp opened his mouth and began to tell. Immediately, Kia was amazed and amazed again and again. Because of her frail health, she has been bedridden all year round, and has never been in contact with anyone besides a housekeeper. Usopp made her eyes shine, especially when she heard the sea stories. She was yearning for it. Therefore, one loves to make up, the other loves to listen, and the two get along happily. Hey, the captain is lying again. At this time, the three of Kingjiato arrived with Luffy and his group of 4. They didn't take the usual way, they turned in from the backyard, and seeing this scene, they couldn't help but say. Usopp, who are they? Seeing Luffy and the others, Kia couldn't help but widen her eyes and asked. Kaya, this is my friend and a pirate, this is Captain Luffy, and this is, well, his 3 men. Seeing Luffy, Usopp slid down from the tree and introduced. They came here for. Then Usopp said their purpose. Miss, don't listen to this man talking nonsense here, he is a liar at all. At this moment, a cold voice sounded. I saw a man in his 30s, wearing gold-rimmed glasses and black gloves, dressed in butler clothes, came over, looked at Usopp, and said unceremoniously. Battle. Seeing the man, Kia couldn't help shouting. Steward Klabattelle. Seeing the man, Usopp's expression changed. Miss Kuya, did he say that he is a big pirate and often takes risks at sea? These are just lies made up by himself. Everyone in the village knows about these things. Besides, his father is a notorious pirate. As the son of a pirate, he is not a good thing. Miss Kuya, you must not believe what this kind of person says. Klabattelle sneered. But, Usopp, hearing this, Kuya couldn't help but say. What are you talking about? What do you call a person like me? However, Usopp interrupted her, his eyes were bloodshot immediately, and he looked at Battelle angrily, especially when Battelle mentioned his adoring father. His disdainful expression made him immediately furious. It's okay for others to insult him, but it's not allowed to insult the father he admires. Chapter 17 Get lost, I won't agree to your request. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Why, am I wrong? Aren't you the son of a pirate? Do you have the blood of a dirty pirate running through your body? Everyone knows about this matter, and what you did. Don't you have any idea in your heart? Why, do you want me to list them one by one? A person like you, every word you say is dirty, and your father, what kind of person is he, what kind of son he gave birth to? However, Klabattelle didn't care about the anger in Usopp's eyes at all, sneered, and said to himself. Battle, shut up. Stop talking. Kuya couldn't help shouting. Although she was sick in bed, she also heard the matter of Usopp mentioned by her subordinates, and she knew it in her heart, but she didn't hate Usopp, but what Battelle said was a bit too much. This guy actually said that we are dirty. That's really hard to hear. Humph, the four of Luffy couldn't help being upset when they heard what Battelle said, but there is nothing they can do about it. Can they always attack ordinary people? What's more, what Battelle said is absolutely right. In today's era of great pirates, pirates are extremely rampant, and killing people makes them worse. This is a representative of evil. He is absolutely right in saying that. What's more, if you come out to be a pirate, if you are afraid of people talking about it, what kind of pirate are you? So the four of them ignored it. Captain Usopp. Damn it, this guy actually despises us so much, bastard. Captain. However, they ignored it, which didn't mean the three of them. When they heard this, they were extremely angry and wanted to attack Battelle. However, someone is one step ahead. You bastard, don't despise my father. Usopp's face turned livid in an instant, he shouted loudly, and punched Battelle with a punch. Boom! Battelle didn't dodge or evade, and took this punch abruptly. The body retreated 5 steps in a row, and the glasses on his face were blown away. Battle! Kuya couldn't help exclaiming again, full of worry. Miss, don't worry, I'm fine. Battelle smiled faintly, picked up the glasses from the ground, put them on again, and dragged them with his palms to straighten them up. After wiping the wounds on his face, he looked at Usopp contemptuously and said disdainfully. Sure enough, they are the descendants of dirty pirates. They only know how to solve things with their fists. It seems that what I said is not wrong at all. Usopp was so angry that he was about to strike again. Stop it, Usopp. Ahem. Kuya couldn't help shouting loudly, but because of too much force, she coughed violently. Kaya. Hearing this, Usopp's heart tightened, and he looked quickly. Miss, it's time to take the medicine, I'll send it to you right away. Hurry up and get out, don't come in from the backyard over the wall in the future, and I will not agree to your request. Battelle smiled coldly, his eyes swept over the four of Luffy, and finally looked at Usopp contemptuously. After speaking, he walked back to the room and delivered the medicine. Damn it, Usopp was full of unwillingness, but seeing that Kia was seriously ill, he had no choice but to leave immediately. Captain, Captain, that the three Kingjiatu hurriedly chased them out. Hey, hey, what does this guy mean by that last sentence? Did he reject us? It should be, otherwise what else can it mean? Ah, the matter of the boat has been ruined, but the three of Luffy couldn't help but feel dejected when they heard Klabattelle's last words. People directly rejected them, the matter of their request for a boat is obviously in vain. Pirate Chloe. Moonlight looked at the direction in which Battelle was leaving, and a gleam flashed in his eyes, especially recalling how impressive he is, straightening his glasses with the palm of his hand, which is definitely not something a normal person would do. Since it's ruined, we can only go to other places to find a way. Luffy was frustrated and left the villa. He couldn't grab it, and now he was rejected and offended the housekeeper, so he had to think of another way. Usopp, Usopp. Then he suddenly thought of Usopp, and couldn't help but chased him out. Hey, hey, Captain, where are you going? Luffy. Seeing Luffy leave them and run away, Zoro and Nami couldn't help shouting. However, Luffy was so fast that he had already run away. Damn it, this captain is too irresponsible. Seeing this, Nami and Zoro couldn't help complaining. Hee, don't worry, maybe he will find something different, and I found something interesting. Seeing the speechless expressions of the two, Moonlight smiled. Interesting thing. What did you find? Hearing this, the two couldn't help asking. That butler, don't you think it's a little strange? Moonlight smiled. Strange? It's true. The way he adjusts his glasses is a little strange. How can a normal person adjust his glasses like that? That's right, it's really abnormal to say that. The two thought about it and couldn't help but say. The obvious answer is that he is not a normal person. Although some other diseases or habits cannot be ruled out, this habit is too abnormal. If you abandon the disease, then the habit cannot be innate, but it can only be acquired. Think about it, in this sea, abnormal movements and habits, the owner of this villa died again, leaving only a young lady and a housekeeper. What would you think? Moonlight smiled lightly. This is the simplest logic, but no one noticed it. Now that I think about it carefully, I can't help thinking about it, and the answer is ready to come out. Hearing what you said, it is indeed abnormal. Don't you suspect that the butler is not an ordinary person? Could it be a pirate or a bandit? Moonlight, this. The two of them were stunned, thinking carefully about Moonlight's words. The more they thought about it, the more terrifying they felt. Nami gave an inference directly. That's right, in this sea, apart from normal people, they are all pirates. Although there is no evidence, but intuitively, it is not easy. Luffy doesn't care about him. I hate this butler. As a servant, I don't like the fact that I am taking the place of the owner and making decisions on behalf of the owner. Besides, without a ship, I can't go to the Great Route. I don't want to waste time here. Moonlight said lightly. What are you going to do? Nami nodded, first agreeing with Moonlight. I'm also a little curious. Sauron also nodded, his curiosity was aroused. It's very simple. Let's split up and go to the back of the village or in other directions to see if there are pirate ships docking. Since they are pirates, there must be ships. If the pirate ship can be found, then everything will be clear. Moonlight said. Okay, we came from the west. There is nothing abnormal in the west, so I will be in charge of the east, the south of Sauron, and the north of Moonlight. Nami nodded and arranged directly. Hey, can you stop arranging my actions? Did I say I went to the south? Zoro couldn't help being dissatisfied with Nami making decisions without authorization. Chapter 18 Chloe Pirates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. However, Nami has gone far, beyond doubt. Moonlight smiled and walked in the north direction. Sauron was speechless for a moment, looking around in a daze. Hey, which side is the south side? This side. Sauron hesitated for a moment, and chose a direction to leave at random. At this time, in the woods to the east, onion, carrot, and green pepper were following all the way, and suddenly they walked backwards, holding a pair of silver rings in their hands. The man wearing a jazz hat caught their attention. Look, there's a man over there, he's walking backwards. Strange, what's wrong with this man, why is he walking backwards? Is there something wrong with his feet? We don't need to help him, that the three could not help but speak, go to the man. Hey, do you have a problem with your feet? Why do you walk backwards? Are you sick? Who are you, why have I never seen you before, that the three asked. No, my name is Zhangao, and I'm known as the strongest hypnotist in history. Don't you think walking backwards like this is very handsome? Seeing the three of them, the man laughed. He's handsome. Hypnotist. What it is? The three were puzzled, and looked at Zhangao puzzled. Why, don't you believe me? Then look here, when I say 1, 2, praise, you will fall asleep. Zhangao smiled and shook the silver ring in his hand, the three couldn't help looking over. 1, 2, praise. Zhangao began to count, sure enough, as soon as Gao Zi finished speaking, the three of them fell to the ground and fell asleep. Hypnotized. It's just 3 brats. Forget it. Let's not argue with you. Go meet Captain Crow. Captain Crow really doesn't like people being late. Zhangao glanced at the three of them, continued to walk backwards, and quickly left the forest. Hey Usopp, you are here. At this time, on a cliff to the east, Luffy found Usopp and shouted. Luffy, it's you. Is my father really a notorious big pirate as they say? Is the blood of dirty pirates flowing in my body? Seeing Luffy, Usopp couldn't help asking, if it was someone else, he would not have paid any attention to it, but Luffy brought news of his father, instinctively, he trusted him very much. What, are you troubled by such things? Even if you are notorious, so what? Since you choose to be a pirate, you have to get used to hearing other people's gossip, otherwise you are not a pirate. Luffy froze for a moment, then patted Usopp on the shoulder and said indifferently. Since you choose to be a pirate, you have to get used to other people's gossip. You are right, Luffy, this road is not easy to walk, but since you have chosen, you have to make up your mind, because this is the real pirate, the real man. Usopp's eyes lit up immediately, and Luffy's words, like a guiding light, instantly enlightened him. Thank you, Lu. Usopp couldn't help being grateful, but before he finished speaking, a voice of conversation came from under the cliff. The cliff is not high, only about 30 meters away. At the bottom of the cliff, the butler, Klabattelle, was talking to a man wearing a jazz hat and holding a pair of silver rings in his hands. It is Zhangao. Are things ready? Battelle asked. Don't worry, everything is ready. Zhangao nodded. Very well, for this moment, my handsome Captain Crow actually endured a little girl for 5 full years, but all of this is worth it. As long as it is completed, the world will completely forget me. No one will know my true face anymore. Butler sneered, as Moonlight judged, Battelle is not an ordinary person, but a pirate. Captain, there is nothing wrong with me here, but what about your side? I heard that you have encountered some small troubles. Are you really all right? Zhangao responded. There are indeed some small troubles, but it doesn't matter. I can easily solve them. Well, you immediately let everyone rush in and create chaos. I will appear at the most critical moment to repel you and kill Kia at the same time. Half an hour later, we met on the hillside north of the village. Battelle said lightly. Yes, Captain. Zhangao nodded, and after finishing speaking, he was about to turn around and leave. However, at this moment, a loud shout interrupted them. When the two were startled, they saw above the cliff. Luffy looked at them angrily, and shouted. Hey, you guys actually want to kill the villagers on the island and Miss Kia, aren't you the housekeeper of the villa? And Usopp, with an angry face full of endless fear, looked at Luffy, who stood up all of a sudden, and couldn't help but panic. Hey, what are you doing standing up? Wouldn't it be better for us to wait for them to leave and notify the villagers? How is it possible that this kind of guy wants to kill all the villagers? I want to fly him. Luffy ignored him and just yelled. It was the two who overheard their conversation, and discovered the true face of the butler, Battelle, who was actually the captain of the pirate group, dormant here. Is it you trash? When I saw your nose, my slapped face hurts faintly. It's very annoying. Praise, get rid of them. Hearing this, Battelle sneered and said to Zhangao. Yes, Captain. Zhangao nodded, shook the silver ring in his hand, and looked at Luffy. Look here, I say 1, 2, Zhangao, and you will fall asleep. Okay. Luffy was amazed and looked over immediately. 1, 2, praise. But when Zhangao finished saying Zhangao, Luffy's eyes suddenly closed, and he fell directly from the cliff. Flip it upside down, bury your head in the soil, the dead can't die anymore. What? Seeing this scene, Usopp was terrified. Okay, let's go. Seeing this, Battelle sneered, turned and left. Zhangao nodded without questioning, and headed in the opposite direction. He wanted to inform the crew that they had gone ashore to kill people. You stop, I am Captain Usopp, I have, subordinates, I will tell the villagers your true face. Your plot will never succeed, and you will never hurt Kia. Usopp's body trembled, although he was full of fear, but at this time, he still insisted on shouting. Then go ahead and say it. Do you think the villagers will believe you or me? You dirty man, Battelle sneered, ignored Usopp at all, completely ignored him as a person. Usopp suddenly felt cold, and he suddenly remembered that because he was a liar, he often deceived the villagers, and now no one believed him. Damn it, no matter what, I want to save everyone, I can't let everyone be deceived, and Kuya, I want to tell you the truth. Gritting his teeth, Usopp ran away. At this time, on a cliff in the north, Moonlight looked at the pirate ship docked on the island in front of him, and suddenly smiled. I found it, sure enough, the Klo pirates. Chapter 19. Sure enough, everything is as Moonlight guessed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Moonlight smiled faintly and found it. Now the ironclad evidence is so strong that Klabattelle can't argue with it. Just as Moonlight was about to take action to deal with these pirates, suddenly, hypnotist Zhangao appeared from the slope, and he was seen walking towards the pirate ship in the distance. It's Mr. Zhangao. Mr. Zhangao is here, that's great, it looks like he's coming for business. Mr. Zhangao, from far away, the pirates on board saw Zhangao and became excited. Okay, little ones, the captain has an order, everyone is dispatched, kill the village, kill wantonly. Coming to the front of the ship, Zhangao announced directly. Ah, I can finally go ashore. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. Great, now let these damned villagers see how powerful our Kro pirates are. Very good, brothers, take the big knife and go ashore. Immediately, all the pirates shouted wildly, jumped off the boat with big knives in their hands, and were about to walk towards the village with a murderous look. Stop, you nasty pirates, with my lord Usopp here, you don't want to attack the villagers here. I advise you to get the hell out of here, or I and my, subordinates will never spare you. At this moment, Usopp got out of the jungle, but arrived in time, looked at these people in front of him, although he was afraid in his heart, he shouted violently. Huh? Who is he? Is he a pirate? 8,000 subordinates. Tell us to fuck off. This kid, if you talk big, you should make a draft, okay? Just like this, you still want to deceive people. Do you think we will be fooled? Idiot, return you and your, subordinates. I have, subordinates, so what are you? This kid's nose is so long, I'll cut it off later, let's have a drink. Seeing Usopp, everyone sneered and dismissed what he said in an instant. Then, a group of people approached with a big knife in their hands, their faces were ferocious, and they approached with a murderous look. Damn it, did you see through it in an instant? Seeing this, Usopp couldn't help but tremble all over. It was too embarrassing for him to face these pirates licking blood. He is just telling lies, how can he have such strength? Hey, this is the south side. Just as he was trembling, a voice suddenly sounded. I saw Sauron walking over with a blank face, looking around, and asking Usopp. Apparently he got lost. Are you Sauron? That's great. Stop them now. They're pirates, and they're going to the village to kill the villagers. Seeing Sauron, Usopp hurriedly called for help as if he had met a savior. Pirates? Huh. Looks like I'm looking in the right direction. As the guy from Moonlight speculated, there are indeed pirates docked in an inconspicuous place on this island. Sauron was still ignoring the direction, but when he heard Usopp's words and saw the murderous pirates on the hillside in front of him, he sneered. There is no one in the east, nor in the south, and Sauron looks like a super road idiot. Let him go to the south, but he actually went to the north. These are two diametrically opposed directions, okay? Well, isn't that Sauron? He found the pirate. At this moment, Nami suddenly appeared from the jungle, but she had already found the east and south sides, and now she came to the north side. For a navigator, searching for a place quickly could not be easier, so I found it quickly, but when I saw Sauron and the pirate behind him, I couldn't help being stunned. Sure enough, as that guy Moonlight guessed, they are indeed pirates. Nami murmured, remembering Moonlight's speculation. Damn it, how did these people find this place? Listen to what they said, have we been discovered? Seeing Zoro and Nami appearing one after another, Zango's face became more and more ugly. If it's just Usopp, he naturally doesn't care, but if Zoro and Nami are added, he can't help not paying attention, especially Captain Crow. He dislikes people who don't keep time. Those who were not punctual before were all killed. Thinking of Captain Crow's terror, Zango couldn't help feeling a chill in his heart. Absolutely can't delay the time, otherwise he will be killed too. Thinking of this, he shouted to everyone behind him. Everyone try our best to rush over, and don't delay the time to meet the captain, otherwise I don't need to say the consequences, you should understand the consequences. Yes, Mr. Zhangao, let's go, don't delay the time to join Captain Crow. Come on, you must not delay, or you will be killed. Fight. Hearing this, all the pirates went berserk and rushed towards the ramp ahead. They are desperate to rush out. They all know how powerful Captain Crow is, so at this moment, they dare not have the slightest hesitation. Come on, leave it to me. Seeing this, Sauron's eyes lit up, he sneered, and the three swords were unsheathed, 3 swords. 3-sword style, crazy slashing. Immediately, Sauron rushed out, and the whole person was like a cutting machine, rushing towards the pirate team. I saw that Sauron turned into a harvester at this moment. Wherever he went, he was harvested directly. It was too late to resist at all. In the blink of an eye, he rushed into all the pirates. When he came out again, these pirates had fallen to the ground and were seriously injured. Damn it, is it so powerful? In that case, Brother Catman, please, we must not be late. Seeing this scene, Zanyao's face turned cold, and he shouted to a pair of brothers on the boat behind him. Immediately, brothers appeared on the boat, one fat and one thin, with cat claws. They heard Zanyao's voice and came out, and they looked at Sauron timidly. Master Zanyao, do you want us to deal with him? Isn't it a bit too embarrassing for us? This man is terrifyingly strong at first glance. We won't be killed. The 2 brothers were submissive and cowardly. Don't talk nonsense, kill him, otherwise the time agreed with Captain Crow will be delayed. Zhang Gao said impatiently. Ah, Captain Crow. Boogie, what do you want to do? Do you want to fight? No, how could we beat him? However, the 2 of them immediately became more submissive, and while waving their hands to refuse, they walked toward Sauron. What? This is your trump card, Brother Catman, it seems, with a. But at this time, seeing this cowardly performance, Sauron couldn't help being disappointed, pointing at the 2 of them and said, however, before he finished speaking, the 2 looked at each other, and a gleam flashed in their eyes. The body movement suddenly sped up, just like a cat. Yochi's cat's claw in his hand grabbed Sauron all at once. Chapter 20. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 2 of them caught this by surprise, which was extremely strange. By the time Sauron realized it, it was already too late. The blood suddenly appeared. Sauron snorted in pain, and saw a deep paw print on his chest, which appeared, blood flowed horizontally, and Sauron was severely injured in an instant. Sauron. Not good. Seeing this, Nami and Usopp couldn't help screaming. He, people like you are like this, thinking that the two of us look very bulky, but unknowingly fell into the trap of the two of us. This is the price of judging people by their appearance. Swordsman. That's all. The two laughed sinisterly, and looked at Sauron with an incomparably cold expression, with a playful look on their faces. Ha, you really deserve to be Brother Catman, you are really amazing. Our pirate group, apart from the captain and Mr. Zongao, is the most powerful Catman brother. Come on, use your sharp claws, and kill this man cruelly. Dare to stop our Chloe pirates, you are 100 years too early. Seeing this, all the pirates burst into laughter, crying, kill Sauron. Don't waste time, Brother Catman, the captain only gave you half an hour. If you are late, you know the consequences. Hurry up and kill them. Zongao looked at the time and said to Brother Catman. Yes. Let's do it now. Hearing this, the two trembled all over, as if it would be an extremely terrifying thing if they were late. The two grinned fiercely, stretched out their sharp claws, and violently grabbed Sauron. Death cruelly. The two shouted loudly. Hateful. Seeing this, Sauron didn't dare to be careless, drew his sword out, and slashed wildly with the Cat brothers. The Catman brothers' sharp claws were extremely ferocious, and the two of them shot extremely quickly. Sauron could only be beaten constantly, and was completely suppressed. The three of them attack against each other, completely duel with speed. It's not good. Sauron is completely suppressed. If this continues, he will die sooner or later. Seeing this, Usopp worried. Sauron is a three-knife style. With 3 knives, he is the most powerful, but now the speed of the Cat brothers is too fast, and he can't find a gap at all. If this is the case, he will die sooner or later. You have to help him create a gap. Nami looked at the three of them fighting and said in thought, she has already seen the clues, but how difficult it is to create a gap. No, even if you can't make it, you have to force it. Nami gritted her teeth, and suddenly took out a dagger from her body desperately, and threw it at the 3 fighting people. Idiot. Seeing this, Sauron couldn't help shouting. Humph, courting death. How dare you sabotage our battle, kill him. Brother Catman's eyes turned cold, and his eyes instantly shifted to Nami. Lifting the sharp claw, he slapped the dagger. Backhand to Nami. Immediately, the dagger flew away, like a meteor flashing, extremely fast. Hateful. Seeing this, Sauron yelled angrily, and was about to fly up to defend Nami, otherwise, Nami would definitely die. Don't worry, fight with all your strength. However, at the moment when he was about to act, the voice of Moonlight rang out suddenly. Immediately. Buzz. A crescent-like sword aura slashed out through the air, like a dagger flying like a meteor lightning. It was instantly swallowed by the sword aura. The dagger disappeared completely in an instant, as if it had never appeared before, and the sword energy swept across the sky, and it slashed on a small hill next to it. Crack. The top of the mountain shattered directly. The mountain was cut open. Seeing this, Usopp opened his mouth in shock. No, this is a joke. What kind of power is this? It's fake. Hold the grass. All the pirates were stunned, staring blankly at the severed hill, extremely shocked. Hiss. Zongao took a deep breath, looked in shock at Moonlight who was slowly walking down the hillside holding Nami. Who? What? And Brother Mauran was also stunned, staring blankly at the power of this sword, completely devoid of any fighting spirit. Moonlight. Sauron looked at the Moonlight, his pupils constricted, and this sword made him deeply understand the gap between them. Moonlight, thank you for saving me. Seeing the Moonlight appearing, Nami expressed gratitude. When she threw the dagger, she realized that she had done a stupid thing. Fortunately, the Moonlight appeared in time, otherwise she would be finished. It's a small matter, Sauron, finish your next battle. Moonlight waved his hand and looked at Sauron, showing no intention of meddling. Understood. Hey, he won't interfere. Sauron immediately restrained his mind, looked at the Cat brothers, and the three-sword style appeared. Damn it, how dare you underestimate us? Kill. Hearing this, although the two of them were amazed by Moonlight's terrifying power, it didn't mean they were afraid of Sauron. Immediately shouted angrily, shot again. Because of the threat of the Moonlight not far away, the two of them used all their strength to fight quickly. Three-sword style, ghost slash. Seeing this, Sauron sneered, he who shed three swords is completely different from one sword. Three swords were cut out, and his whole body turned into a light and shadow, and disappeared. When it appeared again, it was behind the two of them. On the two chests, 3 cut marks clearly appeared. Although the two moved extremely fast, how could they quickly pass Sauron in the state of three-sword style? What? The two screamed and fell to the ground with a plop. How is it possible? Brother Cat Man has been defeated. It's fake. How could someone defeat the Cat Man brother? How is this possible? Seeing the Catman brothers defeated, all the pirates were surprised. Incredible face. Damn it, there's not enough time. Zhang looked at the scene in front of him with a serious face. The Catman brothers were defeated, which surprised him, especially the Moonlight standing on the hillside, like a high mountain, cutting off a small hill with a sword. Looking at the passing time, Zhang Yao's face became more and more ugly. Next, it's up to you. After defeating the Catman brothers, Sauron lay down on the ground with a plop, panting. He was seriously injured. The sharp claws of the Cat brothers hurt him deeply. Okay. Moonlight nodded, and stood on the hillside, looking at Zhang Yao and all the pirates. Either get out, or I will take action. You choose the same. Moonlight said lightly. What did you say? Do you want to defeat all of us by yourself? Your Excellency, I admit that you are very powerful, but in this way, it is a bit too underestimated. Hearing this, Zhang Yao couldn't help but sneer. Moonlight is indeed very powerful, but if you want to kill all of them by one person, you will underestimate them too much. Although we are not as powerful as the Cat brothers, we definitely can't solve it by you alone.